All right, guys. Yep, good. Connecting. All right, what's going on, my PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, and my fighters? I'm One Eyebrow, also known as PT, and I'm back to talk about The Walking Dead Season 10, the series, the universe, the spin-offs, the movies, everything you can think of Walking Dead related. It is the first live stream of 2020. January 5th, 2020. That's crazy. So hopefully you guys are excited for this year for The Walking Dead stuff, the news, the shows, all the things coming at you this year. It looks to be a pretty big year. But I got to say, spoiler warning for the show, comics, all that stuff. If you don't want to know, please stop watching now. It says it in the thumbnail, or it says it in the title. But we got to do what we do here to talk about The Walking Dead, guys. So I'm going to wait for a couple more people to join before we get going. I know there might be a little delay for it too, but hopefully you guys are having a good year so far. I know it's only been 5 days into the new year, but some people are just thinking like, man, this year is not my year already. Next year is it, 2021, So please stop. Yenzi, Faith, Mark, thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate you guys taking the time today. Eric, Williams, everybody coming to join this Sunday and every Sunday. So we'll have a bunch of live streams coming up later on this year. And pretty much I can't foresee anyone for a long time where I'll be away. So we'll be able to talk about The Walking Dead for a long time. So hope you guys are checking out the videos and you're definitely watching the stuff that we post every day. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button to become a valued member of our PT channel Walking Dead family. So thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for everybody saying Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. And so we're excited. 2020 is going to be a big year, not just for this channel, The Walking Dead, but just in general. It should be a good year, for a lot of good things, but it is what you make of it. It can't be your year unless you do something. It can't be a good year unless some things go your way. But also if you try things, whether you're a student, a worker, something, if you want to go back to school, if you want to do things here and there, it's definitely one of those things where you can do a lot of big things if you put your mind to it. So 2020 is going to have a lot of Walking Dead. Walking Dead Season 10, Season 11, Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, and The Walking Dead World Beyond. That's just the TV shows. The comics are gone. Maybe we're going to get some news about the movie stuff. When we get news with it, we share it with you as soon as we can, right? So if you do the math, we should have 42 episodes of The Walking Dead universe, whether it's Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, and The Walking Dead World Beyond. 42 out of the 52 Sundays, right? So if you think about it, you have January and 3 weeks of February, 7 weeks before The Walking Dead returns. That's crazy. 7 out of the 10 Sundays are before The Walking Dead returns. So if I did the math correctly, 42 weeks, and if it goes straight through, February 23rd could be the start. And it could go all the way until December 2nd. If there's no breaks, if there's no in-between stuff, like there's a week off and then they start the new series or the new show or whatever, because The Walking Dead is 8 episodes. And you got 8 episodes and 8 episodes, Season 10B, 11A, that's 16. 8 episodes and 8 episodes of Fear the Walking Dead, that's 16, 32. Then you got 10 of The Walking Dead World Beyond, that's 42. Pretty awesome stuff, but that's 42 out of the 52 weeks. So is it really going to go from February 23rd all the way to December 2nd without a break? Because usually you get a break, 8 episodes and then a break and then 8 more episodes at some time there. But how are they going to do it? I don't know. Hope they have a good decision and they have some explanation for it. We just don't know. Because The Walking Dead is done filming. The Walking Dead 11, Season 10 is done. Season 11A will start filming April, May. Then we got Fear the Walking Dead. It's going to be interesting because Fear the Walking Dead is filming right now. And that's usually a summer show. Fear the Walking Dead World Beyond, that's already filmed. I believe that's done. And that's a spring show. So I would assume that it's going to be 8 episodes of The Walking Dead. Hopefully 8 great episodes. And then we have The Walking Dead World Beyond. There's 10 episodes of that. So is it going to be 10 weeks, 10 straight weeks without a break? Maybe they have a week off or 2, but remember, 42 out of the 52 weeks, how are they going to have a show? Is it going to be The World Beyond followed by Fear the Walking Dead or vice versa? Are they going to have multiple shows during a Sunday? because I believe Better Call Saul comes back around the same time as one of the Walking Dead shows. I can't remember which one it is, so if you know, please post in the comments, which is crazy how they're going to do that, right? Because if it's The Walking Dead, I like watching Fear the Walking Dead and then Talking Dead after it, right? So you see a lot of good things. Not everybody watches that. Walking Dead and Talking Dead, they love to have a show where it's The Walking Dead and then Into the Badlands or something, and then Talking Dead. So you have to wait another hour before you watch it. And I know why they're doing it, to make you watch that show to go into that one, but I don't know what they're going to do with that. So The Walking Dead Season 10A should be, or Season 10B, sorry. 10A was very good. I thought it was good. Some people liked it. Some people loved it. Some people thought it was boring or whatever, but I don't know. It's crazy. Yeah, see, Wes says Saul's premiere is scheduled for February 23rd. So it's the same day as The Walking Dead returns. So is one going to be at 8 and one's at 9? Because The Walking Dead's on at 9. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it. So is it The Walking Dead, Better Call Saul, and then Talking Dead? I don't know how they're going to do it, but we'll have to see when it comes out in a month or so, a little over, 7 weeks away before it comes back. So The Walking Dead Season 10B should be exciting. I think it's going to set up a lot of good things for Season 11. And where it goes from there is the big question: who's going to survive? Is Beta going to survive? I don't think Alpha survives. I mean, it just doesn't make sense for Alpha to survive. But if you think about it, we have had, the governor. And then we had the wolves. And then we had, the different villains. So we had the governor, then we had Terminus, and we had the claimers, and we had the wolves, and we had there. No one has really survived from the camps of the villainous groups except for Negan. But say, the governor died. Who was there to take over after the governor died? Nobody. The governor was the villain. They squashed that. He went away. It was gone, right? But he went away and then came back. But with the Whispers, we have Alpha and Beta. We have two bad guys. We had, Negan and Simon, but then Simon went away and was taken out by Negan, and Negan was captured. So he was around, but not really like that. But Alpha, really, to me, when Alpha dies, probably by Negan, most likely by Negan. Hopefully you've seen our theory about it. And, shout out to a couple people here that gave me some information on that and different discussion topics. Shout out to them for sure. And I shouted them out in the video. But Alpha dies. Beta lives on. Does Beta survive into Season 11? I think so. Does he fight Negan and get wounded, and then he goes away and comes back like in the comic? Because I love to say, and people love to joke with me about it, the comic is the comic and the show is the show. Can the show outrun the comic? Because we're coming up around issue 150, 160, 170. By the end of the season, we might be around issue 170, 171 or so, around there, right? Commonwealth story arc goes a long way. The comic only runs to issue 193. So that takes us, let's simple math, 173 to 193. That's 20 issues. The seasons are 16 episodes. That gives us Season 11, and if they stretch it out, Season 12. Can the show survive into Season 13 and beyond? I would like to think so, but I don't want to think of it as, watering it down and just having Walking Dead content for having Walking Dead content. It's like Walking Dead shows need to run its course, just like anything. Breaking Bad, Sopranos, Game of Thrones, Dexter. A lot of shows, they have a lot of seasons. Supernatural's had 4 billion seasons. I don't know how many it's been, but it's a lot. And I don't know if The Walking Dead's going for that, if they're trying to do the Star Trek model where they go away and come back and go away and come back and have spin-offs of that. It's still Star Trek, but it's a different kind of group filing it. Like The Walking Dead is the A-team, right? The best thing, the best of the best, the starters, varsity, if you will. Then you have Fear the Walking Dead, which some people like. I think it has its moments, but to me, that's JV. That's the B team. That's not really the best top of the line stuff. Where does The Walking Dead World Beyond fill in? Is it going to be its own standalone thing? I don't think they should be. They should connect the dots. And I think they really messed up with Fear. And they're trying to make it come back around. And it's like, yeah, I think it just could be better in a lot of different facts and a lot of different areas. And The Walking Dead was so good, they're like, let's spin it off and have people watch that. And I'm sure AMC was like, we need The Walking Dead year round. And we're getting pretty close with that. We're going to have 42 out of the 52 weeks of Walking Dead content. And I know not everybody watches Fear the Walking Dead, and some people are excited about The Walking Dead World Beyond, and some people aren't excited at all. But I'm excited to watch it. I was excited to watch Fear, and it had, like I said, it's had its moments, it's had its characters, and it's had some good things for the material. But I just don't know. It's just a hodgepodge. It's just a hot mess. Season 1 to season 5 is all over the place. Season 1 to season 5, The Walking Dead, it flows pretty good. It's had some great moments, some big moments, some connecting points. They do things there. Fear is just like, okay, is it a comedy? Is it not a comedy? Is it just campy? Is it not? Is it trying to be real? I don't know. Hopefully The Walking Dead World Beyond is a breath of fresh air. Like, I hate to bring up Star Wars because some people don't like it and some people are really bitter about it right now and some people really dislike what Disney has done there. But The Mandalorian was a breath of fresh air for the Star Wars universe. Now, it kind of connects a little bit with the, movies a little bit here and there and in between stuff and whatever, but it's a breath of fresh air for that. And I really hope The Walking Dead World Beyond is that way as well, too. So, Mark Simmons, great question. Q&A, Bri. Who were the writers for The Walking Dead World Beyond? I'm blanking on his name, but he was a writer from The Walking Dead. They brought somebody over from The Walking Dead to there. When they had Fear the Walking Dead, they brought a guy over that basically wrote some things and was part of Sons of Anarchy. Had nothing to do with The Walking Dead. Had 3 seasons of that, went away, and it's just been a mess since then. The Walking Dead World Beyond brought somebody over from The Walking Dead to make sure it's done right, and I think it's pretty interesting there too. So please let me know if you remember his name. I'm blanking on it, what it is there too. So thank you guys for joining me here. I definitely appreciate you. I hopefully you guys know that too. I'm nothing without you guys. I can't do this without you. I guess I could, but I just won't be as successful for it. And I love to have the commentation, the moderation, the just discussion of a great thing here as well too. I just love to be connecting people with other great people that love to talk about The Walking Dead and the zombie genre and a bunch of things. It's just pretty cool. So I have Michonne in the thumbnail, and I'm going to probably have Michonne a lot in the thumbnails until she goes away. And the early word is that it's season 10, episode 12 is her last episode. And by my count, she's had 4 episodes in the first half of season 10. Episode 1, 3, 4, and 8. And they said a handful of episodes. Is that 5? Is it 6? Is it 7? Is it... Because if she's seen in season 10, episode 9, 10, 11, and 12, the most we're going to get is 4 episodes, which would be amazing. And I hope we see her in more than 1 episode. But my guess is that we're going to see her in 1 to 2 episodes because she's going to go away one way or another. I highly doubt that they kill her off. Because Michonne is iconic to The Walking Dead, just like Rick is. When you think of, The Walking Dead, you think of Rick, Michonne, Daryl, Carol, Carl, Negan, certain characters, right? Certain things are like, whoa, Michonne. There's no other character like that, at least I know of, right? So we'll have to see how it goes down, but I'm excited to see how it is. And I really hope we get 2 episodes with Michonne and not just 1. But it makes sense if we see her where she went, Virgil situation with the boat and the Navy ship and the naval base and the guns and stuff. Maybe we get 3. Maybe she goes there, she comes back, and then she leaves. Maybe that's what it is too. So, oh man, John Rod, hashtag fight for us. Hopefully you guys are checking out the series. I just edited. Well, I just went through and I had my rough draft done for book 11, which is titled Access. And that I'm on chapter 5, I believe now. I'm going to go through it. My wife's going to read it, and then I'll go through it again, and then we'll have it up for you guys. So I'm excited for it. It's a good book. It definitely connects where the story is going, and hopefully you guys are checking it out. It kind of fills the void, the zombie void, if you will, before The Walking Dead returns, and it's a good separate story of the zombie apocalypse. Rob K, Q&A, do you think anyone from our group would ever refuse to leave Alexandria? I don't know. Like, I don't know how many Alexandrians we really have left, and I don't really know. I think we have Hilltop and Alexandria they're going to be and Oceanside will be the only communities we'll ever have on the show from now on. I doubt we'll really see the Kingdom. Maybe someone goes back there and sees what happened to it, and then they see it's not worth saving. The Sanctuary to me is gone. So Alexandria, I think we're going to have people there. I think it could suffer some damage, or it could suffer some things, and it could be a fight where the gates get knocked down and stuff happens there, like the comics. So I think they rebuild it. The same thing with Hilltop. But I don't know. I don't think somebody's got to stay there, though, right? I mean, if you know the comics, you know that the Walkers, the Whisperers, they go to Alexandria, and the battle is kind of there, and it's kind of a fight there, as well as Hilltop. So we should get 2 big battles, if not more, in the back half of season 10. So I think people have to stay there to protect it. I think Aaron would be there. I think, Scott would probably be there for it too. So I think... And, Father Gabriel is the leader and the person that runs the council. He's head council, if you will. And he's the man who does it all. So I doubt he would ever give up on Alexandria for sure. And Alexandria is a big part of the story going forward, and so is Hilltop. So we'll have to see what happens. So Baddie Serenity, can you explain the whole Commonwealth thing? I'll give the highlights a little bit. The Commonwealth is a big community in Ohio in the comics. We don't know if it's going to be in the comics or just like the comics on the show, but the Commonwealth is basically after the Whisperer War. The person over the radio with Eugene is Stephanie. She is connected with the Commonwealth. Eugene talks with her more and more and more over the radio. John Gresham, do you think Eugene will die this season? I don't think Eugene dies ever. I think Eugene makes it to the very end of the series. Eugene is going to be a connecting point with Stephanie, our group, Hilltop, probably a couple people are going to go with him. I think that he's going to be a big part of the Stephanie-Eugene Commonwealth connection. Is it going to be in Ohio on the show? Probably. It makes sense that it could be. Pittsburgh could be seen. We're probably going to meet Princess. That's a separate character that's on their way to there. In the comics, it's Sadiq, Eugene, and Michonne. And is it Magna that goes with them? There's somebody else that goes with them, too. There's a 4th person that goes to there, and they meet Princess. They go to the meetup with the Commonwealth people. They see the stormtrooper outfits. They're basically guards that are well protected, well armed, well suited for the zombie apocalypse. They're led by a person named Mercer. He is kind of like a Mr. T looking guy. He is like a no-nonsense guy that runs the Commonwealth security. He runs the soldiers, the New World Order, the people who look like stormtroopers, basically. And they take out people. The Miltons run the Commonwealth. I don't know if Georgie is connected with them. Georgie is going to be a connecting point. Hopefully we'll see her again. I'm not sure. But Maggie could be with the Georgie connection. Miltons could be connected with Georgie. Georgie could be their own separate thing. But the Miltons are running the stuff. It's basically like the Milton is like a female governor. The governor is, from a prior season and series or the season and the prior issues. But the Miltons, Pamela Milton, her son Sebastian, is kind of the undoing of the group. There's kind of a different things where it is, and it's kind of the ending of the story because some big stuff happens there, and I don't give too much away. But hopefully we'll meet them. I assume we're going to meet some of the guards. We're going to meet some of there. We don't know of anything about Mercer being cast or anything, but I assume we'll meet them in season 11 for the Miltons and everybody there. But I can't wait to find out who gets cast for some of those big characters, because once they do, it's probably got to start coming up in a couple months because they'll start filming in late April, early May, which, I think they said something in the one video I have that it's May 4th. For them to film. So, Christian, do you think Madison is alive? I do not think Madison is alive at all. I think Madison died in season 5. Mega Dr. J, where's my man at? What's the best Walking Dead episode of the past decade in your opinion? My best Walking Dead episode, I have a top 10 of that, is episode 609. It's going to be tough to beat that. I don't know how they can beat it, but it's got to be action-packed. People have to come to the rescue. People have to be saved. Some heroic stuff needs to be done. It's like a movie. It's such a big thing. that The Walking Dead episode 609 just encompasses so many big things for me, and I'm excited to watch that episode every now and again. Sabbath of Blood Q&A, Bri. If Jerry was to die, I don't even want to think about that. My man Jerry, no. If Jerry was to die, what do you think will happen with his wife and kids? They don't figure much as it is. So I don't know. I hope that doesn't happen at all. I don't want to see Jerry die at all. I hope Jerry, Daryl, Eugene, Judith, RJ, I hope they make it to the very end. Jerry is a great character. I don't want Jerry to die in a hole in a cave, let alone ever. But I think Jerry has to do some big heroic things in the Whisperer War, and maybe he dies saving his kids because some of the Whisperers and Walkers get inside Hilltop, and that's where they are. I could see that how he dies, but I don't want him to die in a cave like, Winnie the Pooh getting stuck in a hole. But if Jerry's going to die, it's got to be a heroic way. And I always kind of thought like Rick would die protecting Carl or Coral, but Rick's not dead. Rick's on an airplane. Rick's on a helicopter going somewhere. I can't wait to find out. Maybe it'll be in Philadelphia, but we'll see. Yenzi Rosario Q&A, do you think anyone else will fight Beta besides Negan? I don't know. I hope that's the fight. I personally want to see that. They're comparable in size. Beta should be like 7 feet tall, and Negan is like 6'4". They're about the same height, in real life, but Beta should be taller. They need to emphasize that a little bit taller. In real life, Ryan Hurst and Jeffrey Dean Morgan are pretty equal in height, but Beta is a basketball player on the show, or in the comics. On the show, he's most likely the country singer. So we'll have to see what happens. Yeah, John, Michael Straczynski. Yeah, I don't know how to say his last name, but Michael, that's the showrunner. You're right. I couldn't remember his name on there. He was brought over from The Walking Dead, and I hope he does a good job. He's been part of some big things on The Walking Dead, and I really hope that The Walking Dead World Beyond is good. Like, I really hope it's interesting. It doesn't have to be the world's best zombie show ever, but I want to see the CRM connection, and I want to just see connecting points of the entire universe. The Walking Dead is the brand. The Walking Dead show, The World Beyond, Fear the Walking Dead, the movies, they all should intermingle and connect. I just think Fear missed the boat when they wanted to do that, so I don't think they wanted to do that initially. The initial showrunner of Fear wanted to have their own show. Well, then call it California Zombie Apocalypse or something. Don't have The Walking Dead in the name. It's just a missed opportunity. Eric Finnegan, Q&A. Can you say Jerry is at the border? So Jerry is at the border. I can't wait to see Alpha coming back and talking again, because I was watching. Have you watched any of the Walking Dead videos on YouTube from the Walking Dead channel? They've talked about, they love the pop-up video style. The pop-up stuff where they talk about the videos and have some Easter eggs and stuff on there too. And when Alpha talks, I just love Samantha Morton, but it's just so kind of emphasized. Her dialogue, her dialect and her accent is just so different to me. It's just when I hear it, I'm like, oh man, it's kind of funny. But I'm excited to see what happens going forward, and I just think Negan's going to take her out, and it just fits the mold for it. But what's going to happen with Lydia? What's going to happen with Beta, Carol, Daryl? They got to get out of the cave first, So what's going to happen with Luke? We still don't know that many spoilers for the back half of season 10, and I'm okay with it. There's some things that we shared. There's some things that we're ready to do. So I'm excited to see what happens with the future of the series. It starts with this, it starts with the back half of season 10, because the Whisperer War, the way they kind of talk about it, the Whisperer War has kind of been going on in the first half, but it needs to be battles. The war, to me, needs battles, and we don't need a Whisperer Boar. We need the Whisperer War, excitement, action-packed. We need Braveheart. We need Daryl to be like leading the charge, like going in and just like fight. We just need awesome craziness on there too. And I'm just excited to see how it goes down. They're showing things in the trailer that, I've watched it recently again, and I'm like, man, it gets you hyped, it gets you ready. But I got questions, like how does Beta get into Alexandria? Does he get in there, just with a bunch of whispers and walkers and it's kind of crazy? Like I just want it to be like nuts, like The Walking Dead does a lot of things great, but they kind of, struggle with certain aspects of action and certain things there, and 609 was great. And really then there hasn't been that many super comparable things because in that episode alone, 608 and 609, the rocket launcher blasts, all these things, like they've had good moments, but putting a couple things together, I think it needs to be come back to that, come back to the roots, come back to big things too. So, a lot of great stuff, a lot of great people here. So big shout out to my members, my moderators, everybody here. I'm definitely excited to go into this year with some great people here, some great people that are for the channel. We got Michael Mendez, one of our newest members, level 1 PTP. Pretty cool stuff. And, the money comes back to the channel so we can do this more and more and more. I'm trying to be able to devote more time into this, especially with this big year of 2020, because we're rocking and rolling this entire year, we're going to be cranking out the videos left and right. And when I get the videos cranking out and I get stuff going and there's a lot of material, a lot of stuff, a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of there, I'm like, man, let's make videos. And I'll be posting multiple videos every day. And I'm going to make videos whether we achieve our goal of 100,000 subscribers or beyond. But that's a big goal to me. It validates all the hard work that we've had. It just makes me feel that people really care about the channel. And, it's just one of those things that I'm going to continue either way. I love my PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, and my fighters. And hopefully it's a thing that you'll continue on for the rest of this year into the next season as well, in the next year. Because if you think about it, we got season 11. That's going to start at filming in April, May. Start filming all there and then be back October, November, December, whenever that comes back into 2021. So we're going to have Walking Dead into next year too. Don't know if Fear the Walking Dead is going to get another season, if The Walking Dead World Beyond has multiple seasons as well. But this could be the start of a bunch of different things too. And I was looking at a couple different things, and The Walking Dead has kind of fell off from season 6. Season 4, 5, and 6, I think, is the heyday of it. But it's still got a huge fan base. It's still got a huge amount of people who love the channel, that love the episodes, that love the series, that love what they do. And I'm one of those big people there too. But I'm also real. I'm not going to be one of those fake people like, The Walking Dead is the greatest show that ever lived, and it never does anything wrong, and it doesn't have plot holes, and it doesn't have mistakes, and it has the best CGI on there too. It's just like, picking on something is not the same as critiquing it, discussing it on there too. Like, I'm not trying to bring anything down. And Fear the Walking Dead, to me, has much to improve because it just could be so much better. Like, just them driving around so much last season and this character and that character and who they introduced and the camera stuff. And I just wish it was better. So a lot of the characters are annoying to watch there. Fear the Walking Dead has a bunch of characters that I don't care about. Probably 80-90% of those characters could all die, and I wouldn't care. But I care about John and June and Alicia and Morgan and, Dwight and the connection now with things, Daniel, just certain characters that I loved and I care about there too. And the way they left it open with one of the major characters, is that character dead or not? It's like, that's terrible. That's terrible writing. You should never wonder that. Maybe they left it open on purpose, but it's just, man, it's crazy. So, Dre Thomas, who is Beta after in Alexandria? I don't know. We don't know who it is exactly yet. Why is he there? Why is he going to attack Alexandria? My best guess is that it happens after Negan kills Alpha, and then he goes back to Alexandria with part of Alpha to show that Alpha is gone and to show them that he, took Alpha out. So that would be the only reason why he would go there, in my bet, because that's kind of dangerous to go there. Maybe the other reason is that he's going after Lydia, and I don't remember Negan ever being at Hilltop ever in the series, right? They said, he was there and he did this and he killed a kid and he was in the kingdom and stuff. But we don't know if that was him or Simon. Never seen Negan at Hilltop. Never seen Negan and Carol, interact. But Negan's been in Alexandria, so Negan's probably going to go back to Alexandria, and we'll have to see what the future holds for Lydia. So I think he's going after Alpha after Alpha is taken out, and maybe he's going after Lydia or Negan. So DD thinks, no, he's after Michonne. But Michonne hasn't really been anywhere, anything. She's been her own world. She's been in Oceanside, and then she's going off on a boat, and then she's coming back. So never been this on there too. So yeah, Mega Dr. Dre, we got some moderators. So we got some cool people that are helping the channel out, that are really all about the channel, that I appreciate and really means a lot to me on there too. If you want to become a member, Dr. Dre, you can hit that join button, and anybody else as well too. So it helps to support the channel. We have a Patreon. We have a bunch of stuff to really help support the channel on there as well. And I hate asking for, financial donations or financial, stuff, but it has to pay the bills somehow, so we can do this more and more and more, and I can devote more time to it. And a big thing as well, we're going to be doing more Twitch streaming. I've been playing the Spider-Man game on PS4. And I got a bunch of other things I'll be doing there, and should be good stuff. I'm excited to talk about it, and I love to be interacting with a bunch of people. And if I can reach people on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, what else we got? We have Instagram and Twitter as well. So a bunch of different things, because I know not everybody does, the YouTube stuff or Facebook or Instagram, but we always share stuff in multiple different ways, in multiple different areas, social media, so you don't miss out. So make sure you check us out and give us a follow on all the different things, so we can post all around and you can be in the know for show. But B-Lion, who do you think Negan will save from the Walkers in the Whisperer War? I don't know. I mean, are they going to go the route of him saving Lydia again? Is he going to save Daryl? Is he going to save Aaron? Is he going to save Father Gabriel? Because it's coming. When Negan and Rick's dialogue happened in the comic, it's one of the best moments of the Whisperer War. The other one is probably when Negan fights Beta. That's pretty awesome too. But to me at least. But ultimately, when Negan comes back to Alexandria and he's like, hey, he's like, what's up? And they're like, what's in the bag? What's in the bag? It's pretty great that Negan comes back, and this is why he was kept alive, for this moment, for these moments with Beta, with Alpha, with the Whisperers, and coming back in a heroic way. And it's pretty cool stuff that I hope that makes sense, and people really do that. I think he's redeeming himself. I think he's redeeming himself more and more and more, and I don't think the redemption arc is over. I think he's got to do something big, and the big question is, say Michonne goes away. Maybe CRM kidnaps her. Maybe Virgil takes her away. Maybe Virgil trades her away for his family. Maybe Virgil doesn't have a family at all, and he's lying about it. Or maybe he does something, and whatever. Michonne goes away. Willing, not willing, on her purpose. Whatever she does. Why she does it, we don't know yet. Who's going to take care of Judith? RJ. Who's going to help run things in Alexandria? Daryl, Carol, Negan, Lydia, I guess. People are going to have to, it takes a village to raise a child. Angela Kang clearly said that too. Renee brings up the question, who's trying to take Coco? Maybe. I don't know who that Whisper is. Is that Whisper even there? Is Rosita hallucinating it? Or is there actually a Whisper there? Why would the Whisper try to take that baby? We don't know. Would it be Gamma trying to take the baby? I don't know. We just don't know. We just don't know if the Whisper is trying to do something malicious to actually, harm the baby or kidnap the baby or what it is, or if the Whisper is even there. We'll have to find out. But that's good. That's good storytelling and trailers that make us interested to go watch it. We're interested in that. We're interested in Beta in Alexandria. We're interested in Jerry stuck in the hole. We're interested in Michonne on the boat. We're interested in so many different things. It's great, and that's what we were excited for. Now they need to answer it. They can't just answer. Just can't ask all these questions. They need to answer these questions too, because this is the back half of season 10. We've already want to know, is Michonne truly having Lucille in her hand? Is it a dream? Is it a real thing? Who is she pointing Lucille at? Is she pointing it at Negan? Is go get him. But if she's there with Negan, does she really leave? I just don't know. I just don't know how they're going to do it. Does she go back to Alexandria? Is the war over by episode 12? And she goes away? So we're going to have 9, 10, 11, 12 as the Whisper of War, and then she leaves after the war is done? Because what's 13, 14, 15, and 16 all about? I don't know. I mean, maybe, I guess the war could be over in 4 episodes. It's kind of already started. And Daryl and a bunch of people said it's action-packed. Go, 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 go. And if it's rapid fire, 9, 10, 11, 12, I guess the war could be theoretically over. Some people think the war should last into season 11. I don't think so. I would love to be over in 10 and 9, 10, and 11, 12, and then 13, 14, 15, and 16. So you got 4 episodes of the war and 4 episodes setting up the Commonwealth story arc in season 11. It could be done. They kind of already started the war, so we'll have to see. But it's pretty cool stuff. So, yeah, Rob K, Brad Pitt, what's in the box? Carol, what's in the bag? Yeah. So I'm excited to see what happens, guys. I know, and I say that truthfully, I really am. I'm not going to tell you I'm excited and if I'm not, but The Walking Dead has been great again since season 9 and season 10. And, I kind of had some missteps in season 7 and 8, but it rebounded. It kind of learned what to do. New showrunner, new breath of fresh air, new story arc, new stuff there. I think it'd be pretty cool. Sabbath of Blood, Q&A, Brian, what do you want to see happen with Gamma? I like Thora Birch. I hope Gamma survives. That would be pretty cool if Gamma survived. Maybe she gets wounded and then she gets saved and she's kept alive at Hilltop. But Hilltop's going to get some damage. Hilltop's going to be lit up and it's going to take some major damage to the Barrington house and the trailers around there and stuff there too. And stuff's going to burn down and stuff's going to be torn up. They got to rebuild it. But I hope Gamma is reunited with her nephew. I just hope that it's a fitting thing for Gamma because that's a kind of a cool little story with Gamma for the show. There is no Gamma in the comic, and I'm glad that they have those differences on the comic and the show. And I just hope I personally hope Gamma survives, but I just don't think she will because we have to lose some people, right? We have to lose some people in the back half of season 10. We're going to lose Michonne either way. I think we lose her on the show, but we don't lose her from the universe. But so the first half of season 10, we lost Brandon, Margot. I don't know, Margot. Why is the carpet all wet, Todd? And Sadiq and Dante. So, 4 people, right? And some walkers and, a couple whispers and stuff. But not really a lot of stuff happened. We didn't lose Ezekiel. We didn't lose Rosita. We didn't lose Father Gabriel. We didn't lose, Carol, Daryl, Lydia. There's a lot of characters there. Judith, RJ, Jerry. But there's a lot of characters still around. Eugene, and we got introduced some new characters. Well, we don't know her name, Stephanie, yet, but in the comics it's Stephanie. So we'll have to see what happens. But I'm excited to see how it goes down. But we got to lose people, right? And I'm not saying that I want people to die, but this is The Walking Dead. Walking Dead is in the title. I mean, we're going to lose people, that's for sure. So we're going to see probably some losses, but we'll have to see how it goes down. And I just don't know who we're actually going to lose just yet. I would assume we got to lose somebody from Magna's group, right? Maybe we lose Magna. That'd be crazy. Billy McDonald, Q&A, do you think CRM and the Commonwealth are related at all? I think the Commonwealth, if anything, is the part of CRM that is for the show. The Walking Dead World Beyond will be the other spots, like Omaha is part of CRM. Portland, if it's Portland, Maine, if it's Portland, Oregon, if it's Portland, Ohio, I don't know, wherever the other Portlands are. I think there's going to be a bigger thing for it. I said it before, and I personally hope that Fear the Walking Dead goes to The Walking Dead World Beyond, especially if The Walking Dead is in Texas and The Walking Dead World Beyond is in Nebraska. Just combine the shows. Just combine that too. At some point, Fear's going to run its course. Just absorb it into the World Beyond and have that world there too. You got to have a time jump, I would assume. So we'll have to see. So what do we got here? Did SJW get rid of Carl for Judith? I think so. I think that, Scott Gimple was all about getting rid of Carl for different reasons. Was it for the show? Was it for contracts? Was it for acting? Was it for whatever? But I think they hit the gold mine with Judith being older and casting Kaylee Presley Fleming, because not to hate on Chandler Riggs, but young Carl was kind of annoying. Carl, at that age that Judith was kind of annoying and did a lot of dumb things. Judith, to me, hasn't really done anything dumb since she's been older Judith. I think she's been pretty awesome. So it's not a knock on Carl, but I think Judith is actually better for the show than Carl. But I think that's what they did. They traded out one Grimes kid for the other. So, Senlar Thompson, do you think Alpha is going to kill Lydia? I don't know. I mean, if Lydia goes to the Whisperer camp, that's bad news for Alpha, because the Whisperers can't trust Alpha. Alpha lied to them. Alpha said that she killed Lydia, and Lydia is clearly alive. But Gamma knows that. Gamma knows that Lydia is still alive, and Alpha has been lying. So that's a big story arc going forward. That how is Gamma going to do that? Is Gamma going to get on the loudspeaker or the the megaphone and be like, everybody, Alpha's a liar. And Lydia's alive. I saw it with my own eyes. Do not trust Alpha. Trust me. Alpha, you cannot trust Alpha. We need a new Alpha here. I can take over. Is that what it's going to be? So, I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes down. But I don't know what's going to happen with it. But I doubt if Alpha didn't kill Lydia before, I doubt Alpha would kill Lydia now. Maybe someone tries to step in and take Lydia out, and Negan saves her again. I just see Negan saving Lydia and Negan protecting Lydia like he did before. They already showed that, so why wouldn't he do it there too? So we'll have to see how it's going to go down, and I just don't know the answers just yet, but hopefully when we get more and more information, because right now, guys, it's January 5th. The Walking Dead returns in 7 weeks. That's a long time. Not 7 days, 7 weeks. Because let me just do the math, but I'm pretty sure it's 7 weeks from now that The Walking Dead returns, because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So that's a long time. 7 weeks. That's 49 days. And I'm like, man, but if you're going to watch it on Friday, AMC premiere, and a lot of people have been doing that. So I'm excited to see the information that's coming out for the back half of season 10, because there's a lot of rumors, there's a lot of speculation, there's a lot of different things, a lot of different theories, a lot of different people saying that this is going to happen and that's going to happen and this is going to happen, and there was helicopters around when Michonne left, and there was this filming and that filming, and I don't know what to believe. We heard information that Kelly was going to die in either season 10, episode 8 or episode 9. And then that looks to not be true, because there was a waterfall with rocks and there was a bunch of walkers down there and somebody was going to get killed, and that looks to not be true. And so there's been a lot of stuff that's come out that they've been messing with us. Maybe they put out different spoilers or fake information. And it's like, okay, we don't know what to actually believe, and that's okay. I don't need to know exactly everything there. I don't need to do everything, exactly see everything, how it's going with, before it happens. I'm there for the ride. Sinlar Thompson, how did Lydia die in the comics? She didn't die in the comics. She survived. But Carl and Lydia have a relationship. That's not going to happen. So I want to know what's going to happen with Lydia. Carl's gone. Sophia's gone. So that can't be how the way the show ends. But I think they're setting up with Judith being the storyteller of things, and that's a good way to end it, I think. I think that's a good way of ending the story arc. If you know the comics, you know that Carl was, the last person with Sophia and their child, and it was cool. Are we going to see that again for the comic to the show and how it ends there? Or will we have different endings? It could be. I mean, I just think it's going to be remixed a little bit. It's not going to be totally different. Like the show loves to do that, right? So they had the Abraham death in the comic where the bolt goes through his eye by Dwight, but that went to Denise. It happened on the show, but to a different character. The Glenn and Abraham lineup deaths were just Glenn in the comic. So we got Glenn, but we also got Abraham in there too. So I kind of wished Abraham was alive for the All-Out War and for the Whisperer War or something, because he would be hilarious. Glenn needed to die for the Maggie story arc and the stuff going forward and the tension between Maggie and, everybody. And, even though they didn't really portray that too much, there was Maggie punches Rick in the comic, and that didn't happen on the show. And there was certain people say, oh, I trust Rick Grimes. Rosita said it on the show, and Maggie said it in the comics. And, we just don't know how it's exactly going to play out because they do have little differences for sure. So Jerry Margot Q&A, do you think Lydia will ever die? I don't know. I mean, if she stays connected with Carol, maybe. Carol is connected with characters that die. Sam, Tobin, Sophia, Ed, Henry. You're like, oh man, if Lydia becomes the new child that Carol's taking care of, that could happen for sure. So, Mark asked the question, Judith and Herschel. That could happen. That could be the finale too. But Herschel's got to come back around. Herschel and Maggie and Eduardo and whoever has been with Maggie need to come back around. The other question I have that I'm going to make a video about is, who do you think Maggie's love interest will be, if there is one, on the show going forward? Will Maggie have a love interest? Because in the comics, it's Dante. And it's not the Dante we saw on the show. It's different for sure. So, we didn't say my name correctly. It's pronounced Jerry. Jerry Margot. Sorry. Yeah, it's just The Walking Dead has had more hits than misses. That's for sure. I don't really think they missed too. And if they did, there was the foul tip on the pitch. And then they've hit some good, home runs. They've hit some big moments, some great things. And that's why we love it still. That's why we love the show. The Walking Dead's been around, coming up on 10 seasons. 10 years of The Walking Dead is a long time. If you asked me or said people 15 years ago, you're going to love this show about the zombie apocalypse, I might have been like, oh, that sounds cool. Or, yeah, right, zombie apocalypse. Those things are cheesy as anything, They were always campy and over-the-top stuff, and they are what they are. But The Walking Dead does it in a way where you're like, oh, man, I can kind of buy into that a little bit. I can buy into that, too. And we always, it's always fun to be in that world and be like, if a zombie apocalypse happened, I would do this. Or I would want to be around that person. Or I would want to be here. Or I would be on an island. Or I would be here. Or I would be there. Or I would just take myself out because the zombie apocalypse would be way harder to survive in than you think. Well, the zombie apocalypse, if you think about it, would be really boring. It'd be really hot, really frustrating, really cold, really, you'd be so hungry, thirsty, you'd be so wanting food all the time because you can't just go down the street and go to fast food or go to the grocery store or go to anywhere, a restaurant, and just go get food. And if you don't eat now, we're I know people that are so hungry if they don't eat every 3 hours or every 4 hours or something on there too. Imagine that person in the zombie apocalypse. Imagine that person who's like, it's so hot. I live in Florida. It's kind of cooler now. But, imagine if it's the summer and you're in Georgia or you're in Florida or you're somewhere and you're like, it's so hot. It's 106 degrees in Texas and I'm in the zombie apocalypse right now. You can't just cool it down. You can't just click on the AC. You don't have power mostly. Or maybe you would. Maybe that'd be a big thing, right? So it's kind of interesting. I was in Walgreens with my wife a couple of days ago, and she was getting prescriptions filled or picking them up. And I was like, Walgreens is pretty good. Walgreens would be a good place to hide out in the zombie apocalypse. Then I was like, we went to Publix, and I was like, Publix would be a great place in the zombie apocalypse. And then before that, I always thought Sam's Club would be a good spot for a zombie apocalypse, And it's true because you need food, you need antibiotics, medications, you need shelter, you need something safe, you need something there too. You can have generators, you can have backup stuff, and you can prescription medication. I don't have anything right now that's life or death that I need to take, but some people do. Some people need to take insulin. Some people need to take blood pressure medication. Some people take cholesterol medication. Some people take different stuff that keeps them alive, basically, So it's pretty cool to think about it in the zombie apocalypse, but it'd be pretty terrible. The zombie apocalypse would be pretty terrible, And luckily, we can't smell. It's not 4D when we're watching the zombie apocalypse, The Walking Dead. But it's got to be terrible. It's got to smell terrible from a variety of smells, right? So it's kind of interesting that we watch it. And, it's always funny when you think about it and you're like, yeah, you're looking at it and you always have a conversation. Like, I love talking about the zombie apocalypse with like patients or my wife or whatever. And we're just talking about it. We're out and about and it comes up from time and time again. And I'm like, that'd be a good spot, we got to get electric cars. And, I don't remember the last time I rode a horse was, but, maybe horsepower would be the thing and maybe stockpiling gas or different things. So, as I write my book series, Fight For Us, I'm always thinking about that as I'm driving down the road. Hectorito writes, can't smell worse than Daryl. Oh, man, that's a low blow to all the Daryl fans, Hector. That's for sure. I didn't say it. Hector said it. But I'm like, driving around and thinking about the zombie apocalypse, or I think about this, or I think about that, or I see like construction, or I see cones, or I see something there too. And I'm like, put two and two together, put stuff in my zombie apocalypse book series. And I'm like living the world. I know it's like fictional or whatever, but I put myself in that world, and hopefully you check out the series and you put yourself in the world too, and you buy into it too. Because when I'm writing the characters, and I would assume Robert Kirkman did the same thing. When you're writing these characters, you believe these characters, you feel for these characters, you think these characters are real in your mindset here too. Like when I'm writing stuff for my series, it's Ryan and Sean and John and Matt and Phil and Lauren and my cats and stuff, and I'm like writing them and I picture them. I picture entering my house and walking to the kitchen and doing this, or going to my man cave, or going over there, going to my backyard, or driving and exiting out of my neighborhood and driving down the street and making a U-turn and driving past the school that is, what I think of as the haven. And when I drive past this place and I think that, and I'm driving in St. Pete and I'm thinking of different areas, I'm like, it's not real life, and I don't like picture myself in that world, but I picture myself in that world to help my writing to do that too. And I just hope that, you see the same thing, that I paint that picture, or I draw that picture, or I write that picture, however you want to think about it, in a way that you see it too. So, yeah, guys, so I'll go for a couple more minutes. I'll answer some more questions for it, but I'm glad you guys take the time to be here. I really appreciate it. We have a goal of 100,000 subscribers. As I make this video, I have 87,800 and something. So we need 12,200 more subscribers. And if I do the math, if we do it all this year, and we have, the 42 weeks of The Walking Dead, we need about 300 a week for each of the 42 weeks. I know the year is 52 weeks, but I would love to hit that goal by the end of The Walking Dead Season 11A, when it ends in probably December. That'd be pretty amazing. From now to then, if we can hit that goal, that'd be awesome. I'm going to have, a different little prize giveaway when we hit that goal. If we hit it at the end of the year, I'll take it into 2021. But as soon as we have it, we'll have more and more information about it, because it's a good thing. It's a big thing, and I need your help for it. So everybody in here, if you can spread the word, tell your friends, tell your family to hit that subscribe button. If they love The Walking Dead and what we do here, it'd be pretty cool, and it would help us out tremendously, because, I can't do it without you guys. But Zachary, my guy, hey, Brian, you are right about fear with all that here and there, back and forth stuff. I do think they need to bring Morgan back over for the Commonwealth CRM arc. So yeah, I hope that Morgan is reunited with Rick, and I hope it's the CRM way. I love that it's the big thing that is the combining factor, because the series started with Rick and Morgan, and it should end in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't have to be the last episode, but it needs to be the last series, last movie, last conclusion of something with Rick and Morgan, and Rick and Michonne. And something, to me, needs to be pretty big with that. I think it should happen some way with Morgan and Rick. And even if they're just reunited, it doesn't have to be the way the series and the universe ends, but it would be a nice fitting factor for me if Morgan and Rick are reunited in some way, shape, or form. And I'm not asking for a lot, Walking Dead. I just want to have Rick and Michonne reunited. I want to have Judith be the end of the series. I want to have Morgan and Rick reunited. and Daryl and Dog make it to the very end of the series. Maybe Carol, maybe Eugene, maybe a couple other people. They don't have to be the last people standing, but part of the last people standing, for sure. Yeah. Paula Redmond says, although in a zombie apocalypse, type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, and a few other things may be eliminated without snacks and McDonald's on every corner. That's for sure. I mean, you would probably be in better health, but also your cortisol levels and your different things in your levels, your different stress levels would be so high in a zombie apocalypse that it would be so crazy that your body would be on stress and high alert so much, or you'd be gone. It would be a zombie, but or a walker, whatever. But yeah, I mean, if we didn't eat all the high salt, high sugar, high, just bad stuff for you, stuff that really isn't made to ingest in our diet all the time, then we'd probably be better for it. But a zombie apocalypse would have its own problems. But so how could you survive on, without a clean water source is the biggest thing too. Like food is one thing, but clean water is another. And if the pumps shut down, if the filtration shuts down, it's its own problem for that too. So clean drinking water is the biggest thing. That would be the bigger thing than actually food. So water would actually be the biggest thing. So filters and different stuff to keep a good water supply would be pretty important for sure. Not just in a zombie apocalypse, but in regular life too. There's places in the world that still don't have good, clean drinking water. And that's pretty ridiculous. So we need to have that settled in spots, or there needs to be a priority for that too. So Janet, Q&A, Brian, do you think Daryl and Dwight will ever cross paths again, or is that impossible at this point because of the time jumps? Yeah, I don't think that's ever happening, especially when Dwight said or left. Daryl was like, don't, if I ever see your face again, I'll kill you, or whatever, when he said at the end of season 8. So I think that was their way of saying that Daryl is the man on The Walking Dead and Dwight is going wherever he went. And so that Dwight needs to go to another show, another way, another thing where he's going to be some aspect there. I just hope that Dwight is reunited with Sherry quickly in the first half of season 6, because that has been drawn out and stretched out every which way, and it needs to be rewarding, it needs to be fulfilling, it needs to be satisfying for it to be happening in a big way, especially if Sherry does something heroic and saves someone that a lot of us care about too. So, yeah. Hector says, I think Dwayne will die in Fear the Walking Dead on his search for Cheryl. He's probably sacrificing for her. So hopefully I mean Dwight and Sherry. But Dwight, because Dwayne is gone. Dwayne is not really a person that is a character that has been gone. I know a lot of people just think there's all these different theories and all these crazy things about Madison and about, Dwayne and certain people out there. If Morales never came around, Morales would still be around in the hot topics. So it's just crazy to think that The Walking Dead has had some pretty good... They answered a lot of questions. They did a lot of things there, but they still have some plot holes and some missteps and some things that they just kind of glanced over. So we'll have to see what happens in the season 10, what they do going forward. But I hope that it just... I don't know if they... The big thing is Heath, too. Like, Heath is a character that doesn't really matter in this series and the universe, but he just kind of vanished. And he was gone. And if he's not in The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, or The Walking Dead universe, somehow, The Walking Dead World Beyond, or The Walking Dead movies, people are going to always wonder what happened to him. And maybe that's their thing. Maybe that's what they want to do with that character. But I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Like Sherry. Sherry went away. And Dwight was there still. And then they left a note. And then Sherry could come around again and do something big. I think that could happen, right? I think that could happen, should happen. But I don't know if it's going to happen with Sherry and Dwight quickly. But it needs to be answered for sure. Yeah, Dee, I don't think there's going to be a cure. I don't think Kirkman wants to do the cure angle. I think he wants to do that everyone's infected, and that's it. That's the way the world is. I think the cure angle is not for this. Because when Kirkman came up with The Walking Dead, it's a great premise. It's the idea of The Walking Dead is the zombie apocalypse show movie that never ends. Because in a lot of this in the movies, the zombie apocalypse is upon us, and it's still going on. And the group that we're following gets to an island, or they get here, or they get there. And then it ends. But then he was like, what happens after that? I want to know what happens after that. Because that's a great thing, too. Like, okay, so the people get in a helicopter and they fly to an island. And now what? How do they survive? Is there food on this island? Do they have to do a castaway spiel? Do they have to get a Lord of the Flies going here? It's pretty cool to think about, too. And I like the idea of being in that universe and thinking about what would happen for that, for sure. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Went for my hour. So today is the first live stream of 2020. I'll be back next Sunday and for the next Sundays for a while. Hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at the PT channel. You can follow me on Twitch. You can follow me on PlayStation. I'm One Eye Bry, so it's ONE, the letter I, and then BRI, and it's also the PT channel on Twitch if you want to follow us there. I'll be having more videos coming out this week. I'll be having a video coming out tomorrow. If you let me know in the comments, let me know anything with the idea of top 10 lists or videos that you want to see over the break. It's some good stuff. If I use it, I'll give you a shout out for sure. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you to my awesome moderators, my members, everything there too. I appreciate it. And I'm working hard on my book series, Fight For Us. Hopefully you guys will check it out. There's going to be a new character in there, so definitely check it out for sure. I'm super excited for you to meet her, and I want for the big things to be happening with that series for the future of this year and really the future of the series as a whole. So thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about love, support, staying true to yourself, being honest with yourself, blocking out the haters, that's for sure, because there's plenty of those out in the world, no matter what you do. But thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. I'll be back next Sunday. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and see you guys.